party's on Ish versus Green. Step forward, please.
48-year-old maintenance man Edward Ish claims fellow tenant, warehouse worker Bruce Green, 41, won't return his vacuum. Bruce says it's not Ed's.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 535 on the calendar in the matter of Ish versus Green. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
I somehow gather this case is more than about just a vacuum cleaner, but I'm going to stick to what I see in your complaint and your answer. You two gentlemen live in the same rooming house, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been living there?
I've been there just a little over a year.
And you, sir?
About a year and a half.
And according to your complaint, Mr. Ish, you loaned the defendant a vacuum cleaner that you had been using because you were doing some janitorial work around the house. Is that right? Like
well,
a
I picked up
part-time
messes
handyman.
with it.
Part-time handyman, and you get paid for that. Mm-hmm. You made a loan to the defendant of the vacuum cleaner. He wouldn't return it.
Correct.
It's not true, Your Honor.
Just a minute. That's your claim. Mm-hmm. He says he found the vacuum cleaner.
Correct.
No.
Okay.
No.
So now, Mr. Ish, tell me, sir, where you got this treasured vacuum cleaner.
I bought it at a swap meet, Your Honor.
When did you buy it at a swap meet?
Oh, about last fall sometime. About October, November. I've got a receipt for it.
Let me see the receipt.
All right. Do you want to see anything else?
No. Right now I want to see the receipt, Mr. Ish.
No, okay.
Who's Pat Campbell?
He's the salesman at the swap meet.
Mr. Green, where'd this vacuum cleaner come from?
It was left abandoned outside our building originally.
When was that, sir?
That was sometime in September or October of last year.
And what happened with it?
Well, it sat outside for a day or so. Then it was inside for a day. It sat there completely untouched. I'd left it alone because I thought it belonged to somebody. It looked like
Where was it when it was inside the house?
It was in the common hallway down by the common restroom.
Okay, go ahead.
It sat there another day, and Mr. Ish came to my room, knocked on my door, asked me who the vacuum cleaner belonged to. At that time, I walked down the hall and I said, well, it's been out here this long. I'll show you who it belongs to. I picked it up myself, brought it back to my room, and I said, now it belongs to me.
Shh, shh, shh. Go ahead.
And at that point, he asked if it even worked. He didn't know if it even worked. So we plugged it in, checked it out, determined that it needed a belt.
Who determined it needed a belt?
We jointly determined that it needed a belt. It wasn't picking up properly.
So what happened?
Later on that day, Mr. Ish showed up back at my place with a belt to replace the broken one in the vacuum cleaner. He asked for the vacuum cleaner. I gave it to him so he could put the belt on. He took it upstairs, put the belt on, came downstairs, vacuumed a little bit on the rugs downstairs, and then brought it back to me and said, there we go. Now we have a new house vacuum cleaner. Nobody can bother me for my vacuum cleaner any longer. This is all yours now to, hand out to people as they come to it. And I said, Mr. Ish, the vacuum belongs to me. I said, I'd be glad to let anybody borrow it, but it is not a house vacuum cleaner. It's my vacuum cleaner now.
So let me understand you, Mr. Green. According to your story, it was Mr. Ish who came to your room and said, who does this vacuum belong to?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And you decided at that point that it belonged to you, because that's what you just said. You said,
correct.
No, now it belongs to me.
Correct.
Well, I mean, at that point, if you had said to him, I don't know who it belongs to, he could have just as well said, it belongs to me, right?
Correct.
And he did go out and get the belt for the vacuum cleaner.
Yes, Your Honor.
So he invested in...
It had a dirty bag, too, Your Honor.
I want you to be quiet. You started out by lying to me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You know that. You know you started out by lying to me with this baloney.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, you did. Oh, yes, you did.
No.
You want to know how I know you did, sir? You want to know how I know you did?
How do you know that?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. Because I've been around a long time.
Oh.
And when there's a bill that's this old, it's usually like this. and it's got a little schmutz on it, right? And it's been with other papers, right? And it's got a little stuff on it, right? It doesn't come out like you just pulled it out of a brand new book.
Well, then my manager's lying too, then.
Listen to me, sir. I don't take statements from people that don't come here. Put it away. Good. If you lied, your manager can lie. All I'm telling you is...
We're all lying about this vacuum
All
cleaner.
I'm telling you is, so far, I believe that that's how the vacuum cleaner came into the house, but I disagree with the defendant that just because he says it's mine, makes it mine. So,
Your Honor.
this is a crocker who shot John, so you can return this to him. Now, quiet. I don't like when people try to get one over on me because it makes me think that you think that I'm stupid.
No,
And, sir,
but I think that...
Sir, on your best day, you're not as smart as I am on my worst day.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you both still living in the rooming house?
Yes, ma'am.
Not
Now
for
you-
very long.
Just a... I want you to be quiet.
Okay.
And later today,
What day did you move out?
I notified him at the beginning of March, and on March 15th, I went up to the apartment, and he told me that I was to move out within half an hour, and if I was ever seen again on the property, that he'd kill me.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ed Ish wants his vacuum cleaner back from Bruce Green. Bruce says it's not Ed's.
Now, the question is, what do we do with this vacuum cleaner? Because it honestly seems to me that if the vacuum cleaner was abandoned, Mr. Green, neither one of you had a paramount right to this machine. Neither one of you. He did invest in either a belt and a new bag or just a belt. You invested in Zippo, except...
Your Honor, I did purchase a bag for it.
He initially made the vacuum cleaner work because
Correct.
according to your statement to me, sir, according to your statement, the vacuum wasn't picking up. And it couldn't pick up without a belt, which Mr. Ish furnished.
Correct.
Right? Are you both still living in the rooming house?
Yes, ma'am.
Not
Now
for
you-
very long.
Just a... I want you to be quiet.
Okay.
Now the rooming house has a vacuum cleaner because the court is going to prepare an order that says that if either of you move out, the vacuum cleaner stays. You don't own it, and you don't own it. You may use it, you may use it, and everybody else who lives there may use it.
Oh, that's nice.
You can't take it when you leave, and you can't take it when you leave. Do you understand?
Your Honor.
Perfect. That's all.
Why is excused? Step out.
Nobody claimed it. It sat there for 2 to 3 days without anybody coming up to claim property of it. So,
Well, I wish I'd have got my vacuum back, but I've been very good to this man, just like a brother to him. He is between classes and welfare when I put him to work for income on the residence. And he just commandeered my vacuum, just kept it and wouldn't return it.
And now the next case.
Parties on Hustad versus Story. Step forward, please.
20-year-old customer service rep Matt Hustad claims his former roommate, 20-year-old Kaleo Story, owes for non-payment of rent and a missing bike.
Mr. Hustad, the defendant, according to your papers, was a roommate of yours who you claim owes you money for rent and a bicycle.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So start at the beginning. When did he become your roommate?
He became my roommate at the beginning of 1998 in January. Actually, January 10th was the day.
How much rent was he supposed to pay?
Let's see, it was $200 a month. Plus utilities, which would be the phone expense and groceries, all written in contract here. I have
Okay. And how long did he live there?
approximately 2 months, 2.5 months. 2.5 months exactly.
He moved in January 10th, according to you.
And
When
then
did he move out?
March 13th at 9:45 p.m. I gave him notice to leave after he
was approached for the money.
So he lived there for 2 months.
Yes, approximately.
How much rent did he pay in the 2 months that he was there?
$150 cash, which I have a receipt for on the initial contract I wrote up.
So far, according to you, in the rent, he owes $250. Correct?
Yes, correct.
What else does he owe you for?
Well, he loaned my bike out in about March of last year to someone.
March of which year?
1997, Your Honor.
So a year ago.
Yes. I loaned him my bike a year ago.
Yes.
Okay, and he then loaned it to somebody else.
Yes.
And now the bike cannot be gotten a hold of.
And did you know this, sir, when you started to live together in January of '98?
Yes, I had been asking him repeatedly. He showed good faith that he was going to try to retrieve the bike for me. He showed good faith, and which in fact he did not. He bailed out on it. Excuse me. He bailed out on it at the end and said, "Well, I can't do anything about it. I don't know how to get a hold of him."
How much rent did you pay?
When I first moved in, I paid the $150. Then I paid $50 again at the end of February. Actually, I moved in at the beginning of February. I paid February's rent, and at the beginning of March, I paid another $150.
You paid February's rent in its entirety?
Yes.
So according to you, you paid all of your rent?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
What about March?
March, I paid $150 again, and I was supposed to pay $50 at the end of March.
Show me the receipt.
I never got a receipt, which is stupid on my part.
Let me see the receipt that...
Your Honor, I'd like to submit the rental agreement, the original signed.
I'd like to see it.
Here's the original. That basically outlines the original contract negotiated between the three of us. Kelly, my first witness here, was witness to him signing the contract as well as all the verbal and agreements throughout the living situation.
All right. Well, this says that you paid $150 the second week in February.
Right.
That's when he paid his $150. That's virtually when I wrote the contract up and when he less the $150 that he had paid.
Which is when I moved in.
Now, he moved in prior to that, weeks prior to that.
At the beginning of February.
Who else is a roommate?
Me.
Step up. Your name?
Kelly Hansen?
Miss Hansen, the three of you were living together in the
Yes,
apartment?
that's correct.
Other than being roommates, is there any other relationship between the two of you?
Matt's my boyfriend, and me and Cleo and Matt have been friends for about a year now, as well as our other witness,
Good
Meg.
friends.
Really good friends. Actually, we were good friends. Cleo moved in January. He lived there January, February, and part of March.
Which day in January?
I think it was the 10th, January 10th. He lived there. We all agreed to split everything equally, divided by
just want
three.
to know the date. Okay. What date did you move out?
I notified him at the beginning of March, and on March 15th, I went up to the apartment. He paged me to come over there, and he told me that I was to move out within half an hour, and if I was ever seen on the property
45
again,
minutes.
45 minutes.
Well,
And
why?
if I was ever seen again on the property, that he'd kill me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Judy. Matt Hustad is suing former roommate Kaleo Story for rent and a borrowed bike. Kaleo says he didn't take the bike and he paid the rent.
Why did he tell you to move out?
He asked me to move out because I have no idea. I told him
Why
that
did
I
you tell
wanted
him to
move
move
out.
out?
He wasn't paying the money and I hated him
He
up.
didn't pay the money.
Actually,
Repeatedly,
Your Honor,
every week for loaning
the
money.
reason I told him at the beginning of the month that I wanted to move out because he was sitting there with his roommate smoking marijuana in the other room and doing nothing else with their time.
Yeah, so?
And I had gotten off, we had previously been involved in quite a few drugs, and I got off of everything, and when I was sitting in the room, in a smoke-filled room, it was just, it would get to me.
Mr. Story,
Yes, Your Honor.
that's an interesting story. But it doesn't sound logical to me, sir, that he would tell you to be out in 45 minutes unless he had been asking you for money that you owed him towards the expenses on the apartment
Right.
over a long period of time.
That was supposed to be paid by the end
And
of the
the
month.
bike.
And I was completely content with, the money was to be paid to him when I moved out at the end of the month.
No,
The
that's
30
not how it works, Your Honor.
Okay.
No, Mr.
Ever.
Story.
That was when it was in the contract,
That's
and
not
I
how it
Mr. Story,
didn't know that.
what kind of work were you doing?
Working at Starbucks?
He was not employed at this time, Your Honor.
For 3 months, he didn't have a job. We lended him money for laundry, for gas, for food, utilities,
gas,
groceries. We have
everything.
bills and everything that we lent him money for.
Completely wrong.
He lived in my dorm. Actually, he's not even supposed to be living there. He's lived with 4 or 5 other people at Cal State
4 or 5
University Long
other
Beach.
people?
At Cal State University Long Beach, he pays no rent. He hadn't had a job. He lived at the dorm for 3 months without getting a job. I mean, he didn't have money to pay him. As friends, we lent him the money, you know, up front because we thought
He
he
was
would
my
pay back.
best friend.
We
for a
were
long
all
time.
good friends.
Very good friends.
Finally,
okay.
we just got fed up. And we,
All right, now let's get to the bicycle. Tell me the story about the bicycle, Mr. Story.
Okay, at the previous apartment where I was living at, he brought his bicycle up there one day and locked it outside my front door. Gave me the combination to the lock, and one of our mutual friends came over one day, asked to borrow the bike. I told him that he could borrow the bike, but that he had to talk to Matt about it. He came up after that.
Just a second. Stop right there. He brought his bike to where you were staying, locked it up with a combination lock, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And gave you the combination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then a friend of yours came to visit and said, could I borrow the bike?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you said, it's okay with me, but you'll have to ask
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Husted.
That day.
Just a second.
Okay.
But after you told me you had to ask him, you gave him a combination to the lock. You gave him the combination to the lock.
No, I unlocked the bike outside and gave him the bike.
Gave this friend
Right.
the bike.
To borrow for the day. The bike was back that night and locked up, Your Honor. And I told him that he had to go to Matt after that and talk to him about using the bike.
Oh,
Which
Your Honor,
he
I never
did.
saw the bike again. Never, ever saw the bike again.
Just a second. Mr. Story,
Yes, Your Honor.
did your mother ever tell you the story about Pinocchio? Because what you tell me, sir, doesn't make sense logically.
That's right.
How's that? Your Honor?
Doesn't make sense logically. You gave him the bicycle at a time when you had no authority, according to you, to give him the bicycle. That was wrong.
I understand that.
That was wrong. And then you expect me to take a giant leap of faith and believe that he came back with the bicycle that night, locked it up, closed the lock, and then at some other time, somebody came and took the bike again.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All right, what kind of bicycle was it?
It was a 1996 giant Rincon mountain bike, off-road bike.
Is that the kind of bicycle it was?
Yes, Your Honor, it was.
And who purchased this bike?
I did, Your Honor.
And how much did you pay for it?
About $429 2 years ago.
Mr. Story, it's my responsibility as the fact finder in a case to make a judgment as to who's telling the truth and who's not. And their case persuades me that you owe them a substantial amount of money. I believe that you paid them $150. He acknowledges that you paid $150. I believe that you paid him no other money. So you owe him minimally $250 in rent. I'm also giving him credit for $400 for the bike. That's $690. You're not supposed to take advantage of people, Mr. Story. And when you owe money, you're supposed to fess up and say, I owe it. So you're young enough to change your ways because, bottom line, the only thing that somebody has in their whole life is their reputation. That's the only thing that anybody can't take away from you. If you build up a bad reputation, that tends to follow you wherever you go. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $690. That's
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
This is case number 478 on the calendar in the matter of Germani versus Wally. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Germani, you and the defendant were married. You are now divorced. How long were you married?
5 years?
Do you have children together?
Yes, ma'am.
How many children?
2.
Who do the children live with?
They live with me.
According to your complaint, after the divorce, your wife ran up a bill on your American Express card,
Yes, ma'am.
and then she went into what had been a joint account of yours,
It's actually what it was a home equity account.
and she withdrew $2,000
That's
from
correct.
that home equity, and there was $3,000 in the reserve fund that you could have drawn from.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You don't deny that you ran up this bill on American Express?
No, I don't deny that I ran it up.
Okay.
I don't believe I owe him anything.
Okay. We'll get to it in a second.
Okay.
When were you divorced? What was the date of the divorce?
July 17th, 2000.
And when was the first charge on the American Express card?
November.
November of 2000.
November 2000.
So it was clearly after the divorce.
Yes.
Okay. And how much did you charge on the American Express card?
$1,000.
How much?
$1,344.79.
Explain to me why you don't owe him that money.
Well, first of all, because I thought this was my account, he gave me the card in an envelope. And also, he told me, after I did it, he told me, first of all, he said he was going to press charges. Then, a couple of days later, he called me back and said, don't worry about it. I'm not going to press any charges.
Ms. Wally, you thought this was your account that you were charging things on that you wanted and that you planned to pay for.
Yes.
Is that right?
Right.
So why don't you pay for them?
Because he said, don't worry about it.
No, he didn't. He said,
Yes,
don't worry,
he
I'm
did.
not going to press charges.
He
There's a
said,
difference.
don't worry about it. I told him, I'll make the payments. He says, how much do you plan on paying? I said, I don't know, $30, $40 a week, a month.
Get out of here. You don't pay American Express that way, madam. You have to pay them the balance in full. All right, forget that. You owe him $1,344.79. I don't know where your head is. Now, you withdrew $2,000 from a home equity line of credit.
It's also my account. I have every right to it. If it's
Who said so?
Who said so?
You have a
My
judge-
credit report.
No
the bank.
way, Miss Wally. Get your head together. You are divorced from him. You cannot obligate him for anything anymore. When you have a home equity line of credit, you have to pay that back. Who's supposed to pay it back? You or him?
I told him I was going to make payments on it because I needed a car to be able to go see my kids because they told me they were not a taxi service and that I should get a car in order to pay, in order to be able to see my kids. So I needed a car right away so I can go see my kids whenever I felt like it, which even after that, I wasn't able to go see my kids.
Miss
Thanks,
Wally,
Leanne.
Miss Wally, hey, do you pay child support?
No.
Why not?
We have joint custody with
He
the
lives-
children living primarily with the father, and no custody is to be paid as long as the custody remains joint. And the only
Oh, so
reason
you
why
gave
the
it-
custody
is that
is
what you're
joint,
Listen.
the only reason why the custody is joint was because I was afraid to fight him against this because he was always telling me, all you are is a poor Mexican wetback without an education, and the judge is not going to listen to you.
Miss Wally, listen to me. You don't sound like you're a victim to me. You sound very smart. If you accessed a home equity line of credit and took out money, and if you spent $1,300.44 on things. By the way, what did you buy on American Express?
If I may,
Yeah, let me see.
I have
I'm just curious if you were in such dire need to have a
these
car.
are the actual,
Why
This
would
was
you
way
spend?
before I needed
the
to
actual
have a
tickets
car.
that were signed.
Because he had let me use his car for a while until Leanne moved in and they needed the car to trade it in for a Durango.
Dresses. So you bought yourself clothes. Clarence, you bought makeup and stuff. Eyewear and eye exams. Was that for you?
Yes, it was.
Who'd you buy shoes for?
He's wearing them.
He's wearing them. Mm-hmm. You bought men's shoes for your former husband?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Actually, the shoes I'm wearing, I bought myself.
Did she buy you a pair of shoes?
I received shoes in Christmas as a Christmas present for my children of December of 2000.
Okay. So, Miss Wally, once you are divorced, all of your financial obligations to the other are concluded. You cannot obligate him to do anything. If you used his American Express card and expected him to pay the bill, you
I
are
didn't
mistaken.
expect him to pay the
then
bill.
you have to
I
pay the bill.
expected to pay the bill myself.
Good, then you pay the bill. And as far as the,
The only
2000...
thing is then he told me, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the payments or anything.
No, Miss Wally, you're not paying attention. If you said to him, I'll pay the American Express account $20 or $30 a month, he can't say to you that's okay because American Express does not take their money at $20 or $30 a month. They're not a Visa or a MasterCard where you can pay so much and you owe them for the rest of your life. So you owe him this money. And if you said to him, if you gave him an alternative, that alternative was unsatisfactory because his credit would be in the toilet. As far as the home equity is concerned, the home equity is merely a line of credit. That is not money in the bank in a joint account. It's money that has to be returned. And just because the line of credit may have been taken out at a time when you were together doesn't mean that you are able to take advances on that money and expect him to pay for it.
I didn't expect him to pay for it.
So good. So what are we doing here? You owe him...
He's the one that brought me here
Never received any money.
because you told me it was okay. You told me...
Oh, please,
he
Mr.
told
Germani,
me-
Mr.
No,
Germani,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Germani, listen to me very carefully,
Yes,
sir.
ma'am.
I don't know whether she just doesn't get it or whether she just doesn't get it.
Mark Germani says ex-wife Isela Wally made charges on his credit card after their divorce. Isela says she had every right to use it.
She owes you $3,344.79.
I agree.
That's what she owes you. And if she doesn't get it, she doesn't get it. I would suggest you do the smart thing. If you haven't closed out all your accounts by now, publish notices. I suggest that you do that. She is angry. She will continue to be angry. I have no idea if she's working, why she's not paying child support if you have primary custody of the children.
We have joint
she should
custody.
Be. No.
Yeah.
You may have joint legal custody, madam, but if primary physical custody resides in one parent, the other parent pays child support. That's it, and I don't care whether you wear a dress or a skirt or you wear pants. The other parent pays child support. You're lucky you're not paying child support. Don't take further advantage of the situation, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The only reason why we're here is because Leanne is the one who wanted to proceed with this.
Actually, the woman in my life has opened my eyes to the fact that this will continue to happen unless I do something about it.
I shouldn't have had to pay this money because he told me not to worry about it.
Get a lawyer when you get divorced.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Castile versus Garcia. Step forward, please.
24-year-old cook Stephanie Castile is suing her former roommate, 23-year-old nursing assistant Angie Garcia, for an assault and for the return of property. Angie is countersuing for unpaid rent, utility bills, and damage to her property.
Miss Castile, is this your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Is she necessary to be here today?
She witnessed the defendant attacking me.
Would you take her outside, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Come on.
All right, Ms. Castile, according to your complaint, you moved in with your child to the defendant's home. Defendant also had children. You lived there for a while, and there came a time, an evening, when she was supposed to babysit. You wanted to go out. You went to sleep. She went out. You missed your party. There was an altercation when she came home, and you claim she attacked you and assaulted you.
Yes, ma'am.
In addition, you say that she has some property that belongs to you from a car of yours that was repossessed.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Garcia says that you were the aggressor in this altercation that took place over the babysitting, that she doesn't have any of your property, and she is counterclaiming for back rent, for damage that you allegedly did to her property, and for things that you took from her home when you left.
Yes.
When did you move in with her, Ms. Castile?
It was in January of 2000.
What was the rent arrangement that you had?
The rent arrangement was to split the house payment, and we each had to pay $330.
And split other household expenses.
Utilities, yes.
Now tell me about this assault. When did it take place?
On May 30th of 2001.
What was the babysitting arrangement?
I was going out that night. She wasn't going to babysit for me, but I had plans to go to a live boxing match. And
she was not going to babysit for you?
No, I had another babysitter arranged. I went to lay down and take a nap. When I woke up, she was gone, and her kids were there.
What time did she come home?
2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
And what happened when she came home?
I asked her why she left her children there while I was sleeping. She was really drunk and really defensive and saying, if I didn't like it, oh well, too bad. Next thing I knew, she was on top of me, choking me. She had her knees up over my arms. Then she grabbed my hair, was punching me in the face. I have some pictures.
I'd like to see the pictures, please.
When I tried to push her off me, she bit my thumb, which the thumb picture didn't turn out. And she also bit my back.
Okay, what happened next?
She couldn't find the phone, so she ran to the neighbor's house to call 911 or have them call it. Finally, the police came, and I got the police report.
I see it, please.
But at the time, the police didn't take a police report. They didn't even take our names. So the next morning, I went to the police station, and that's when I got that police report. And I also had to make a report against the police for, I guess, not taking a report because they didn't even take our names. So because I had to move out, I had to use my car payment money to move out. And the bank came to get the car, and a letter was sent to our address that was stating where my belongings that were inside the car were going to be mailed. And the belongings were mailed to my boss's house, and she showed up on that day. And
How do you know that?
He told me that.
Where is he?
He wouldn't come.
You can't tell me what he said, because that's hearsay. Now tell me your version, Ms. Garcia, about the events of May 30th.
We were both supposed to go out together. and I had a sitter for our children. Well, she called and said that she couldn't do it anymore. So she was sleeping on the couch taking a little
Who
nap.
called and said they couldn't do it anymore?
My babysitter, my friend Krista. She was going to babysit for both of our children. And she called and said she couldn't do it. I still wanted to go out. As a parent, she didn't want to go. So I put my children and hers to bed, and I went out. I got a call on my cell phone.
Where did you go?
I went to the bar. I got a call on my cell phone after the bar, about 1. And
About
she had,
1 o'clock in the morning.
And she had left a message saying, I don't appreciate you leaving me with your kids, just going off on this message. So I went home. And she was mad about it, freaking out. What? You know, you knew I wanted to go out too, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, well, I'm sorry, next time you can go out. Well, she went upstairs. She was still rambling upstairs. Well, you need to pay me for babysitting your kids and blah, blah, blah. It's like, whatever.
Just a minute, so she went upstairs?
She went upstairs, yes.
And where did you go?
And I was downstairs, and she was yelling at me, you need to pay me for babysitting your kids. And I went upstairs, and I said, what are you...
So then you went upstairs?
I went upstairs, yes. And I said, what are you talking about? I babysit your kid all the time, you know? We started fighting, we got on the bed, she kicked me, I flipped over
But
the
you
bed.
said, no, we passed that over. She went into her room.
No, we started fighting in the hall. And it led right, the door was right here. It's just a little
What do you
tiny
mean
hall.
you started fighting? How did that start?
She's like right in my face, you know, yelling at me for going out. And I had apologized several times already, you know, saying, fine, you can go out next time. I'll watch your kid. I said, it's not like you haven't left me.
I heard that already.
Yes, so then we started fighting.
Started fighting is a conclusion. So far, we're just at the verbal end of it, Miss Garcia.
Like, okay, we're face to face, yelling at each other. Then pushing starts, okay? So then you start
who started
fighting.
the pushing?
I'm not sure. Maybe me, maybe her, maybe both. I had been drinking, but she was not nice like she's trying to say she was.
I don't think she was nice at all. But I think that you had been out and you had been drinking.
Yeah. And she was mad because she didn't go with me.
Okay, so you pushed her.
So we started fighting, yes.
No, you pushed her.
No, we were face to face, and I'm not saying I pushed her first because I don't know who pushed who first.
She says that you struck her first.
No, I didn't. No.
How do you know that if you don't remember?
Well.
What happened next?
And then after the fight, the police were called. They said, well, you'll both go to jail. Okay, so we didn't want to press charges, so we both stayed in the house together that night. So I woke up the next morning, and she had majority of her things on the porch. Well, I noticed she was taking my things also. I said, no, get out. You're not going to be taking my things too, so I locked her out. So then she called the police again, and then they came over and assisted or stood there with us while she got the rest of her things.
But you claimed that sometime later she came back and she took things that belonged to you, and she also vandalized your property. When was that?
I went out of town, and I got a call from my husband saying that the house, the door was wide open, it had been broken into. The neighbors, I talked to my neighbors, they said...
You can't tell me what anybody said to you,
Well,
Ms.
I have the police report right here.
I'll take a look at the police report.
The witness said that he's seen her.
I'll take a look at the police report. So you advised the police that an unknown person had broken into your house?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I want to hear what money you say she owes you for rent.
Okay, $560. Then
for what months?
May and June.
You don't get any money for June. Did you pay May's rent?
Yes, I did.
How much did you pay?
Because I moved out of the last day of May.
How much did you pay in May?
$260 probably. I don't know. I don't have a receipt. I always she'd tell me what we owed, and I'd give it to her, and she'd.
And that was the first of the month that you paid rent.
I had given her my $280. It was, and she was supposed to pay it. She never paid it and kept my $280. So therefore, I had to come up with another $560.
You have proof that you gave her this money?
No, I don't.
All right. Listen. And the only thing I'm entertaining here,
that's fine.
Quite frankly,
okay,
is,
then
is this assault.
I have my insurance paper, which I
insurance
think
for what?
When she robbed me, when she broke into my house.
But you have no proof that she did it.
Okay,
listen to me. You have a police report where they say they spoke to a neighbor.
Yes, that seen her entering the house.
That said that they saw her and a friend enter the house. That is not sufficient proof of a burglary and a theft and a vandalism. Do you understand?
Yes.
Period, end of discussion, and I'm certain that they didn't arrest her for this. Is that right?
No, they didn't.
Because they didn't have proof. Now, you have no proof for the police to arrest. You certainly don't have any proof for court.
I also have a gas bill where we were behind on the gas.
That was
As of
also
when?
behind when I moved in.
No,
What?
it wasn't.
That was also behind when
You
I
moved in 2000?
Yeah. And that's
You moved in
we
for
were not
January
behind.
of 2000.
Right. Yeah,
The
and I
bill was like
wasn't.
$600 a month to heat the house.
So how much were you behind?
$424.71 and $332.62.
Couldn't add these up? What else?
I also have a protection order on her because after I moved out of Omaha, I moved in with my brother. She came down there and just walked into our apartment. This was 9 months ago, and she's nonstop.
Well, she better stop.
Obviously won't
She
leave me
better
alone.
stop. However, Miss Garcia, you assaulted her.
I know.
You had had a little too much to drink. You followed her upstairs, and you were the aggressor, and that's unacceptable. So forget your $378. That's going to be absorbed in the judgment that I'm entering for the plaintiff. What's the value of the property that you say was taken? $1,800? Well, I'm going to deduct that from the $2,300 you're suing for. So that means that you are seeking $500 for this assault.
Right.
Well, you are entitled to that. But from that, I'm going to deduct $378 because that's what you owe for the utilities for the time that you did live there prior to May.
I paid on them.
Well, let me see.
I gave you the electric that I paid off before I left too. That was
Let me see.
142.
Let me see. $142 you paid?
Yes, ma'am. The deposit was 200 and something. They paid the bill, and then they sent me what was left over.
All right. I'm giving you $500 for the assault. That's what you were suing for. From that, I am adding and subtracting these utilities and some money for the utilities that you paid. That leaves you a balance of $264 on your claim of $500, and that's what I'm awarding you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $264. Counterclaim is dismissed. You have no proof.
Parties are excused. You may step number 455, sorry, in the matter of Jenkins versus Moon. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Jenkins, the defendant is your former girlfriend.
Former acquaintance.
Did you date?
No, not really. I mean, we just basically just seen each other, spent some time together.
And it is your claim that she not only assaulted you in your home, but also purposely vandalized your car.
Yes, Your Honor.
When did this happen, sir?
It started the night of January 14th and ended up on the morning of January 15th.
And where did it start on the 14th?
I came to pick up Miss Moon from her for her place of residence at her friend's house. She had basically presented me this letter, basically stating her demeanor and her well-being.
What? I don't understand that. Let me see the letter.
Okay, here you go.
You went to pick her up at the place where she was living?
Yes, Your Honor.
What time?
It was about 8 o'clock, Your Honor.
Were you going out that evening?
No, she was basically just coming over to my apartment.
For what?
Probably just to spend some time.
And you would receive this letter before?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, clearly, Miss Moon thought that the relationship was more than just being an acquaintance.
Sure, Your Honor.
So after you read the letter, in which she tells you that she loves you,
Sure.
and that you hurt her feelings, and that you don't love her back, and that you're not careful with her feelings, then you were taking her back to your house to hang out.
We had basically were discussing some confrontations of the letter.
You were discussing what?
The letter. And basically of my feelings towards her.
What did you tell her your feelings were?
I do not take love for granted, and I was not going to tell Miss Moon that I love her when I did not do so, and I was not going to string her along like that.
So what'd you take her back to your house for?
To spend some time.
And what happened when you got to your house?
Basically, we had continued to discuss some more things. She had basically told me that she had a present for me. She let me open up the present. I seen what the present was.
What was it?
A tape.
A tape, okay.
A videotape, Your Honor.
Okay.
Seen the videotape, and pretty much I knew where she was coming from once I seen the actual videotape.
So
that she had purchased.
I assume it was a sexually explicit videotape from the way you're avoiding the subject.
I guess that would be a good assumption, Your Honor.
Okay.
I mean, I try to avoid that, but...
Did you watch the tape with her?
Yes, Your Honor.
And after you watched the tape with her, what happened?
We had...
Look at me when you're talking.
Yes, Your Honor. We had actually became a little bit intimate, but it got to the point to where she was more like, no. Okay, well, why? What's going on? And she had priorly told me about how she had went to go take a pregnancy test that she was happy about, so to say, that she wasn't pregnant. I had seemed very relieved, but then she got upset again. It was more like, well, why are you so relieved? And I'm like, well...
And this was the discussion you had on the 14th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now let's move it along to when you say she attacked you.
The discussion got to where she left the bedroom, and I followed her out of the bedroom. She continuously was loud, disrespectful, yelling, cursing at me. I had asked her to stop many a times. So we got to the point to where I had asked Miss Moon to leave. I basically was fed up of her actually being very disrespectful. Ms. Moon actually taking her time as to where she wanted to leave my apartment. I had basically started removing her things onto my front porch.
So she said she didn't want to have sex with you, so you were throwing her things out the door.
No,
Is that?
That's not true, Your Honor.
Well, that sounds, I mean, when you cut through all the baloney that you're giving me, sir, you followed her out of the bedroom, right? Because she's
Sure, Your
still
Honor.
saying no after you watch this video and everybody's all charged up and their juices are all flowing, at least yours were. She's arguing, you don't love me, I love you, you don't give back, take your stuff and get out. You gathered up her stuff and you threw them out the front porch.
That's not true, Your Honor. I asked her to leave my apartment because she was cursing at me, yelling at me, screaming at me, and also banging things on
There
my
had to
floor.
be something happened in between, sir. If she said no, 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 I changed my mind, you must have said something. You said, how come you changed your mind?
Something along the lines is where, why? What's going on? Why are you acting so differently? And then she started telling me more things about how she had a discussion with her friends, how she basically had felt that I had never felt for her.
Well, yeah,
seriously, anyway.
she was clearly right because you described your relationship with her as one of an acquaintance.
True.
An acquaintance is somebody, you know, you go in, you meet at a butcher. You say, hello, how are you? How's your family? That's an acquaintance. That's not a friend. Someone who is just an acquaintance isn't somebody that you worried that maybe the pregnancy test, the rabbit died. That's not an acquaintance.
It was a little more than an acquaintance.
Ah, okay.
Just a little more.
Let's get to the assault, sir.
Miss Moon had finally agreed to actually leave the apartment. And she basically, on my front porch, and she had basically let me know and indicated to me that she had left her glasses in my apartment. I said, well, here, just wait here. I'll go get your glasses. I said, I'm not going to do anything to your glasses. Miss Moon didn't want to hear that. She actually wanted to come into the apartment. And from then on, I had stopped her. And she had continuously brushed past me for the second time. Once she had brushed past me for the second time, it was a point to where I was basically holding her off with my forearm, like so. By doing that, she came past my elbow. This is the weaker part, whatever, and that's where she got to the point to where her head was down, and she had bit me right here on my chest and my shoulder area. Once she had done so, and she was not letting go, it was clear that she was not going to let go. I had needed to get her off somehow. So the best way I knew how at that point was to actually put my hand around her neck. I didn't necessarily choke her, but at the point I held her tight enough to where she actually let go. And once she actually let go, I threw her off of me, and she was basically on the front porch. Once she was on the front porch, she called me some obscenities, whatever, and basically had let me know, well, I'm pregnant anyway, so I hope, you know, you take that, whatever. Stood there, watched her as she walked down the stairs as while she's yelling and shouting, whatnot, obscenities. Watched her actually break my cologne bottles, which I have here, that she broke off my car. I have a picture of my car. And she basically was kind of like provoking me to come out there and kind of like do something about what she had actually done to my car.
Was she downstairs already when she threw the bottles at your car?
Yes, Your Honor.
How many bottles did she throw at your car?
2.
Okay, let me see the damage to the car.
It's not necessarily the best of pictures, Your Honor, but however, I can't point
They're all
out.
you got.
I also went to go get estimates of how much it would actually cost to get my car repaired. Here's the estimates. And these are the bite marks for that night.
Okay, and according to your complaint, you went and were treated the next day at the hospital or an emergency
Yes, Your Honor. I was treated at Mount Carmel East in Columbus, Ohio. And these are my medical bills.
All right, Miss Moon, let's hear it.
Okay, he was supposed to come get me at 8 o'clock. The reason I wrote that letter is because he told me I will be there at 8 o'clock, and he didn't show up till midnight. So I wrote the letter because I was sick of it, you know what I mean? And we sat and we had a discussion at my place until we didn't leave until 1 o'clock. We got to his apartment. We started to watch the movie, but his VCR doesn't have any tracking, and we couldn't watch the movie. And I had to go to work the next day at 10 o'clock. He was supposed to take me, and I told him, I'm ready to go to bed. I just want to go to sleep. And he started asking me why. And I said, because I don't feel like it. So automatically I started, that means I'm sleeping with somebody else. I became all these and everything else.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
I wasn't having it.
Did you see how quiet she was?
She was, I mean, if I can't sit there...
Did you see how quiet she was when you were testifying?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's how quiet I want you to be.
But I wasn't lying to her, though.
Just a second. What word that I said didn't you understand?
I understand clearly now, Your Honor.
Brian Jenkins says after an argument with former friend Tia Moon, she assaulted him and vandalized his car. Tia says Brian tried to strangle her, so she bit him.
And so I asked him to take me home, and he refused. I asked him about 3 or 4 times, just take me home, please, just take me home. He wouldn't take me home. And I started to get my stuff. He started taking it and throwing it. And I did forget my glasses, and I went back to get it, and he grabbed me around here, and I bit him, and he started strangling me. He was grabbing my neck.
That's also a lie, Your Honor.
What word didn't you understand when I said, when she's testifying, unless I'm looking at you and asking you a question, don't speak?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so he was having me around my neck. He wasn't really...
Why did he put his hands on your neck?
I guess he didn't want me to go back into the apartment. He didn't...
Well, did he tell you not to go back into the apartment?
He said, hold on, and I was like, I'll get him, and he just grabbed me, and I was like, all right, you know, and then...
So he grabbed you?
Yeah.
And you bit him?
Yeah.
Hard?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And I threw his cologne. When he was throwing my stuff out, I was like, all right, so I threw his stuff out. You know what I mean? I didn't care.
Now, he threw your stuff out after you had bitten him?
No, before. And so I didn't throw the cologne at his car. I just threw it, and it landed in the grass. And after he started strangling me, he threw me onto the porch, and I gathered my stuff up, and I was leaving. And he started saying something to me, and I had the cologne, another bottle, and I just tossed it, and it hit his car. And I kept on walking, and I was halfway down the street to go to the payphone to call my friend to come pick me up, and he gets in his car, and he drives, and he tries to get me to come in the car. But the whole time he was strangling me, he was telling me, you know, I could kill you right now. What do I look like getting in the car with somebody that just said they were going to try and kill me? So I told him, no, just leave me alone. I'll walk, I'll find another ride. And he continued to just follow me. He came behind me, and he grabbed my book bag with my work clothes in it, and he grabbed my jacket.
Stop playing with that paper.
I'm sorry. And he grabbed my glasses off my face, and I kept walking, and he did this for like an hour. All I wanted was for him to let me alone so I can call my friend and go home. He wouldn't leave me alone. He picked me up and he threw me in his car, and I got out and I kept running because I was scared. I was crying. I thought he was going to kill me. He told me he was going to kill me.
He didn't tell you he was going to kill you when he was... No, listen to me! He didn't say to you as he was following you to try to put you in the car to drive you home that he was going to kill you.
No, but when he was strangling me.
Right. You know, don't embellish this story. Do we understand each other? To make a long story short, you finally got in the car, he drove you home, and he dropped you off.
Yeah.
All right. There was at least some modicum of concern about your safety at that hour in the morning, walking around by yourself, because that's why he got in the car to take you home, even after you bit him, and even after you damaged his car, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay. Mr. Jenkins.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're a cad, but not a total louse. Here you have a situation where you have a young lady who is clearly more infatuated with you than you are with her. That's what you said, because you described her to me as an acquaintance. And clearly, she poured her heart out to you in this letter that you read before you took her back to your house. So someone who was a decent person would say to themselves, look, I really don't care about this lady the same way she cares about me. And I don't want to lead her on anymore, because clearly she's lonely, she's vulnerable, so I don't want to lead her on anymore, and I'm just going to end it. But you decided, well, as long as we both have nothing to do, we'll go back to my house. So you went back to your house, and with this acquaintance, you were going to have a sexual encounter, one that you had had before, something that a decent person doesn't do to somebody who's vulnerable. Better off just cutting it off and saying, well, it's not going to work out. I don't feel the same way that you do. So you're a cad, but you're not a total louse, because you didn't want her to walk home alone. It's in the middle of the night, so you, even after the attack on you and your car, I don't know what you found more devastating, the attack on you or your car. Usually guys find the attacks on their cars more devastating than the attacks on themselves. You did, in fact, get into your car and say, let me take you home. You got it?
I do understand, Your Honor.
You bit him. That's a no-no. I don't believe that you bit him in order to have him release his stronghold on you. I think that you got very angry that night, and I think you probably had reason, but you weren't acting like a smart lady. If you sense from somebody that they're really not interested in you, what you're supposed to do is cut your losses and move on. Cut your losses, move on, find somebody else that wants to be as good to you as you want to be to them. Do you understand?
Yes.
Fine.
Can I also have something else, Your Honor?
I would love to hear something else. Make sure I'm going to like it.
Okay.
Because so far you're winning.
I basically did want to say that I do have a permanent mark here because of the actual bite wound.
Maybe it'll teach you to be more careful with somebody's feelings. Mr. Jenkins. You got it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. Car is $763 to fix. Your emergency room was $446. So your total bills were $1,209. However, I do believe that you have to be compensated for the pain and suffering. A bite mark is dangerous. And I am awarding you $2,000 on your judgment, which is some $800 more than the actual damages that you sustained. Have you both moved on with your lives, I assume?
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was actually pretty upfront and honest. That's the type of person that I am.
I'm only 19. I got other things to do with my life.
If you see a female is getting more like out of line, whatever, just go ahead and handle the situation.
I'm just happy that it's over.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bufano versus Kowalski. Step forward, please.
19-year-old waitress Tamara Bufano is suing her former friend, 20-year-old waitress Chanel Kowalski, for the cost to get her car out of impound. Chanel says Tamara owes her for a set of rims.
Miss Bufano, you loaned your car to the defendant, who
Correct.
was, according to your complaint, related to your ex-boyfriend? Or
She was just close friends with my ex.
a close friend of your ex-boyfriend?
Yes.
She acknowledges that if anything happened to your car, she would take care of it, right?
Yes.
She drove the car broke down, she left it on the road, the car got towed, cost you money to get it out of impound, you want your impound fees.
Correct.
She says she paid you some towards the impound fees, some money towards the impound fees, which you acknowledge that she gave you some money towards the impound fees, but then decided she didn't have to give you any more, right? Tell me why.
Because about a year and a half ago, me and my ex-husband gave her these rims to put on for tires, and she put them on her car, borrowing them, and she crashed her car 4 days later. The rims were $2,000. She told me that she told me and my ex-husband she was going to pay us back. She gave us $20 a week for maybe 3 weeks and never paid me back again. So when this happened with her car, I kind of was put in the same position, and she still owes me over $1,900 for that.
You don't have a counterclaim?
It happened over a year ago. They wouldn't let me, they said.
Well, so a year ago it's passed.
Right.
So this is a very
Which
easy case.
I pretty much dropped it because she was my friend. That's why when this happened, I kind of said, you know, you did the same thing, so.
Duh. You have no counterclaim, so I can't entertain your set. What you want to do is do a set-off. Be a grown-up. How much did you give her towards the impound fees?
I believe $70 to $80.
Okay. How much were the impound fees?
$191.
How much did she give you?
Nowhere near $70 to $80. It was $20. 4 payments of $5 each.
The impound fees were $191, and she gave you 4 payments of $5 each. Even my rudimentary math, that comes up to $171. Would that be a fair statement?
Fair statement.
Why are you suing her for $191?
Well, because we ended up making an agreement after lots of fighting and arguing that she would pay me half of the impound fee by October 1st. Otherwise, I was going to file small claims. Well, she said there should be no reason why she wouldn't do it. Every time I asked for money, she didn't have it. She said, I have other things to do, but she was always partying and going out. So
I'm asking you, what'd you add on the other $20 for?
She owed me $20 from another situation.
I'm not hearing another situation. I don't have another situation here. So what she owes you, according to you, is $171.
Yes.
By the way, did she ever say to you at any point, you owe me money for the rims and that's why I'm not going to pay you?
No, she didn't say that exactly to me. She said something about that she doesn't think it's fair that I didn't pay her for the rims. But she didn't say, you know, I'm not paying you because of the rims.
Okay, and the rims were her ex-husband's rims.
Right, and they were $500, not $2,000. They said I would have to pay $500.
Just a second, but they were her ex-husband's rims.
Right.
They were bought with our wedding money. They were bought with our wedding money.
All right.
That was.
You owe her $171. Judgment for the plaintiff. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. Case number 477 on the calendar in the matter of Hubbard versus Hubbard. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
You're Michael.
Yes.
Michael, the defendant is your father, and according to your complaint, when you were 16 or 17, you had a job.
Yes.
Or 2 jobs.
2, yes.
And you and your dad opened a bank account and deposited your money in the account. The money was all your money. You needed his signature on the account because you were a minor.
Yes.
And then there was some sort of a dispute involving your father and your mother, and they're divorced?
Separated.
And your father withdrew all the money from your account.
All of it but $2.51.
And how much money did you have in the account?
Before he withdrew it, I had $1,527.51.
Why did you withdraw your son's money?
$775 I drew out for room and board when he stayed with me for 2 months.
All right, so let's start with the $775 that you withdrew for room and board.
Yes.
When did he live with you?
From June 20th until August 20th.
And how old was your son in June of 2001?
17.
When did he turn 18?
December 11th.
You can't charge him for room and board. You're his father. You're responsible for him.
Ma'am, he was living with his mother at the time, and he came to, with her agreement, came to live with me so he could work.
Mm-hmm.
Before June, I was paying child support.
Mm-hmm.
And when he came to live with me, I just figured that I was entitled to the child support back.
You figured wrong. You may be entitled to child support back, but not from him.
When this all started out, I acknowledged to him that I was going to do this, and he had
I don't care what you acknowledge to him. And even if he agreed that he'd pay you room and board, even if he agreed, which he didn't, you can't hold a minor to a contract. I mean, I never heard of something so ridiculous in my life. Your son worked, he put money in the bank, he was saving for, I don't know, college, future, whatever. You decided later to withdraw money because you figured he owed you for room and board. Outrageous! What's next? What's next? $775.
Yes.
Room and board. What else did you take out?
Me and his mother had a dispute on child support that I owed. We went to court about that. And, you know, in order to get a lawyer, I told him I was going to take some money out to pay for their lawyer. That was because of another situation that was going on.
What?
His grades in school, that I was trying to get custody back for him.
Yes.
To make him do better in school.
So?
And I had to get a lawyer in order to do that.
So? You wanted him to pay for the lawyer so that you could get custody of him?
No, I did not want him to pay for the lawyer.
Well, but he did. That's what you just told me. You took money out of his account so that you could pay for a lawyer to get custody of him. Isn't that what you just told me?
Yes, I did.
Well, am I correct? I mean, when you cut through all the baloney, that's what it was.
But I told him I was going to do this in order to file for custody for him.
Well,
and when I told him that, he had no problem with it.
What do you mean he had no problem with it?
He didn't disagree or agree.
Mr. Hubbard, what do you do for a living?
I'm an electrician, ma'am.
Well, let me give you the facts of life, Mr. Hubbard. The facts of life are parents support their children and provide for necessaries for their children until their children reach the age of majority. Then, if they're really lucky, the children will take care of themselves. Only if they're really lucky. Most parents take care of their children even after they've reached their majority. They pay for college, they pay for books, they pay for clothes, they pay for trips, they pay for medical, they pay for dental, they pay for orthodontia, they pay for cars, they pay for gas, they pay for dating. When they're 19 and 20 and 21 and 22, and sometimes even until they're 30. You, on the other hand, want your child to pay for himself, for his room and board, as well as for a lawyer for you. Hello? Michael, your father is misguided. You're entitled to your money back, Michael. Now, I assume at this point you and your father aren't getting along too well.
No.
And I assume that it will take some time for that to work itself out, if it ever does. Maybe he understands that he did the wrong thing. Maybe.
May I say something else, you may?
Yeah, sure.
I got custody of him on December 14th, 99. His grades were falling bad. When I finally got custody of him, I made him do his homework, and his grades came up. And then his mother 9 months later, filed for custody back of him because I was being too hard on him. I was making him do his homework. I was making him tell me where he was all this time, anytime he was out. Well, that's too hard on him as far as she's concerned. So she got custody back of him, and I have his report cards here showing that when he was with me, he was doing better, and now that he's with her, he's completely failing.
18-year-old Michael Hubbard says his father, Ray Hubbard, stole money from his bank account. Ray says he needed the money.
Your job as a parent is to do what is best for your child, to look into...
That's what I was trying to do. I had his interest in heart all the time.
Fine. Let us say I absolutely agree that you felt as if he needed a stronger hand in order to do his work so that he could do well in school, so that he could move on. You felt as if you had to, as a parent, fight for custody so that he would do better. Is that fair? Is that a fair statement, sir?
No, sir. No, ma'am, that's not what I was doing.
I thought that's what you were doing.
Well, I am, but as far as his mother is concerned, she won't let him grow up.
It doesn't make any difference. Well, you're not listening to me, sir. I said you felt as if you had to do what you did in pursuing custody of him because you felt as if it was in his best interest.
Yes, I still do.
And you still do?
Yes.
Good. He doesn't pay for that. You pay for that. That's a necessary, not for him. That's a legal necessary for you. You, as a parent, are supposed to do the right thing. You felt in your heart the right thing was that he lived with you. You would be a better parent for him at this stage in his life. Good for you. You pay for it.
I understand that.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,527.51. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
A parent should be more responsible.
It was in the best interest of the child.
A minor shouldn't have to pay for room and board.
I'm going to keep fighting.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bell versus Clark. Step forward, please.
53-year-old William Bell is suing his girlfriend's former friend, 42-year-old secretary Elizabeth Clark, for having him falsely arrested. Elizabeth says William threatened to kill her. She is countersuing for harassment.
Mr. Bell, you are suing the defendant for having you falsely arrested on charges of threatening and harassing her. She is counterclaiming for harassment. Let me understand the relationship. You have a girlfriend or had a girlfriend. The defendant is a friend of your former girlfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
You were having some difficulty with the girlfriend. You called the defendant to sort of act as an intermediary and to talk to her and see if you could put things back together again. The defendant then called the police and said that you had threatened her. You were arrested.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you call her?
February 17th of 2001.
Had you ever called her before?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And tell me about the conversation that you had with her.
I didn't have a conversation with her. I got her voicemail.
Okay.
And I left a message who it was, and I was staying at Baymont Inn Motel. Could you please give me a call?
Why were you staying at a motel?
I had moved out of my girlfriend's house.
So you and your girlfriend had lived together and
Yes,
had
we're
a problem?
together now. Yes,
you are back together
yes,
now?
we've been together, yes.
So you went out and stayed at a motel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you left a voice message, and I assume she called you back.
She called me back, ma'am, approximately 4:30, 5 o'clock that evening.
What was the conversation?
Her first question was, when I answered the phone, is this Bill Bell? And I said, yes. She says, William Bell. And I said, yes, it is. Then she started getting very belligerent.
Don't tell me belligerent. That's a conclusion, Mr. Bell. Okay. Tell me what she said to you.
She was cursing at me for calling
Tell me what she said. I'm a big girl. Okay. I'm over 21. I know that's hard to believe, but I am.
You want...
I want the words she said to you, that you claim she said to you.
She called me I don't want to say it on the mother. A son of that I was going to get her fired from her job for calling her work.
When did you call her work?
I found out later that the number I called, which was her home phone number, is a work number at her home.
Okay, so first she cursed you, you say, because she called her at her work number. Right. And then what did she say to you?
She told me that she was going to get even with me for calling her. And I apologized for calling and leaving a message on her phone.
Well, what message did you leave on her phone?
Just my name and the phone number where I was at.
Okay.
And I told her I was going to hang up. And she says, if you hang up, you're going to pay for it big time. And I went ahead and hung up anyway because I'd already apologized and she was still cursing me.
And when were you arrested, sir?
A while later that they had a warrant out for my arrest. And I talked to the police officer who had called the motel to get a hold of me and left a message.
No, look at me. Stop playing with your papers.
I called the officer back, and he told me there was a warrant, and I went down. It was, I believe it was in April. I went down and I turned myself in because
You
I
didn't find out about this warrant until April?
No, ma'am.
What happened to the charges?
Well, the charges were dropped the 2nd of October because the defendant never showed up for court.
Okay. And do you have a copy of the complaint?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see that. And, Ms. Clark, I would like to see a copy of the police report that you made at the same time.
Okay.
And he called me more than one time.
Wait. I'm going to get to you, I promise you.
Sorry.
When did you advise the police of these phone calls, Ms.
It
Clark?
was probably the middle of February.
Okay, just 1 second.
Okay.
So you did not call the police the day that he made the phone calls, the day that you had
Yes,
the
I did.
conversation? Oh,
Yes,
you
I
did?
did.
So
I
you
did.
called the police the same day. All right.
Yes.
Now, Ms. Clark, I would like you to tell me, he left a message on your voicemail to call him. The message that he left on your voicemail was not threatening to you.
No, it's when I talked to him.
So I am correct. It was not threatening to you, and you knew who he was because...
This is the first time I've ever seen this man.
But you knew who he was because of your girlfriend.
Right.
That's what, just pay attention.
Okay, sorry.
Now, I want you to tell me your version of the conversation.
Okay. I work 2 jobs. I also work at a golf course.
Is this relevant to my question?
Yes, it is. He went in to my employer, who I have a letter from, was asking for my address and my phone number. Since then, I don't even know this man. He's taken me to court and put...
I want you, Ms. Clark, to answer my question.
Okay.
My question is, I want you to tell me what the phone conversation was when you returned his phone call.
He wanted me to get his girlfriend...
Tell me what he said.
He wanted to know if I would call Lou and get them back together, reconcile their differences.
And what did you say to him?
No.
Did you tell him why? Mm-hmm. What did you say? Tell me what you said.
I said, because I think that what you did was wrong, and I think she's better off without you.
And what did he say in response?
And then he got aggravated.
That's a conclusion.
Okay.
What did he say?
He said, well, that doesn't help me out a bit. And I really don't recall the rest of the conversation. It was a long time ago.
Well, you have to tell me the rest of the conversation. That's the basis of the...
Just more or less said that he wanted me to call Lou, and he said, you're the only one she'll listen to, and you need to get this situation taken care of for me or else.
At that point, did you hang up on him?
I don't recall.
Or did you have any further conversation?
He called so many times on my caller ID, it was...
Okay. Now, did you ever speak to him after that?
No.
You never spoke to him after that?
Nope.
And the conversation that you just relayed to me is, to the best of your recollection, the sum and substance of the conversation?
Yes, ma'am.
Then, Ms. Clark, I'm going to ask you the following questions.
Okay.
It's clear to me that you said, I'm not going to help you. He said, that doesn't help me any. You better help me or else. Those were pretty much his exact words, as you remembered?
Yeah.
Then can you tell me why you told the police that he said to you, I will get you, I will kill you, just a second.
I'm sorry.
I will get you, I will kill you, and then I will kill myself.
That is true.
Well, Ms. Clark, I asked you 3 times.
I know, I'm sorry.
3 times what he said to you. Now, you got the police's attention, certainly, when you told the police, he said, I'll get you, and then I'll kill myself, and I'll kill Lou, and I'll kill everybody. It seems to me that that would be the first thing that you would say. Not forget it, but that would be the first thing. I will kill you is something that you remember, not I'll get even or you'll get yours, or I will kill you is something that sticks in your mind. In order to get to the police's attention, they say, well, you know, that's really not a threat. You know, you'll get yours is not a threat. I'll kill you is a threat that the police pay attention to.
I will get you.
I will get you is one thing. But I seriously doubt, based upon our testimony today, that he said to you, I will get you, which you didn't tell me. I will kill you. I will kill Lou, and then I will kill myself. Kill. That you remember, and that the police might respond to, but not, you'll get yours. Okay, now let's go back a second. You started to tell me that he's taken you to court 3 times.
Yes, yes.
Now, I want you to tell me about the 3 occasions when he's taken you to court.
Okay, he has put 2 restraining orders against me. The first time that I went to court is when I pressed the charges against him. He didn't show up. So
when was the first time that he pressed charges against you?
April.
April.
Mm-hmm. And then after he hadn't shown up for twice for court, it was dismissed with prejudice on August 16th.
So in April, he filed a charge against you for something. For what, Mr. Bell? For what?
After this deal
After
in
the
February,
warrant.
I had all the telephone calls we were getting and hang-ups. We were getting calls 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Did you know where they were coming from?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you know where they were coming from?
Caller ID showed York Equipment.
Boy, you think this caller ID was a wonderful invention, and it turns out it's used for all kinds of different things. All right, so he filed 2 restraining orders against you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know something? It sounds like a little bit of an abusive process, but Ms. Clark, based upon what you did in having him arrested, I think that he was exercising probably restraint. I don't believe that there was any basis for you to have him arrested. I don't believe that he threatened to kill you. I believe that you got the police's attention. That's what I believe. Based on your testimony today, he never threatened to kill you. Never. All right. Miss Clark's statement to the police was designed to get their attention.
Because it was said.
No, it was not said, Miss Clark, because on 3 separate occasions, giving you every opportunity today to recount what he said to you, the most important thing would be to any normal person was he threatened to kill me by saying, I will kill you. I will kill Lou. Then I'll kill myself. Time and time again, all you said was, the last time around, you'll get yours, or I'll get you, or something like that. You left out, I'll get you.
That's after 10 or 11 calls, though, Your Honor.
Just a second. You never spoke to him again, madam. You spoke to him once, and then you said you did not take the other calls because you saw his caller ID.
He left messages.
He left messages. Let me hear them.
I don't have them.
Well, it also seems to me, Miss Clark, that if someone threatened you with bodily harm to an extent that you called the police, and then if you were listening to messages, you would retain them, bring the tape.
I don't have
so
a
that
tape.
there would be no, you would get a tape so the police could listen to them and then pursue this matter, because then you're dealing with a real nut. He's suing you for $5,000, which he is absolutely entitled to, and I am granting his judgment for $5,000 against you, and I'm dismissing your counterclaim. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Judge 67 on the calendar in the matter of Bailey versus Smith. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Bailey, the defendant was a former friend, boyfriend of yours. You claim a series of loans to him. He says whatever money that you gave him were gifts. Correct?
Yes.
Who is this?
My girlfriend.
Why is she here?
Because she spoke to Maury after the incident happened, and she explained to her what happened.
I don't know what incident you're talking about. You'll tell me, I'm sure. Ms. Bailey, did you date him for a period of time?
Yes, I dated him for a period of about 8 months during my senior year of high school.
And how long ago was that?
That was in, everything ended around August of 2000.
And how old were you?
At the time we broke up, I was 18.
Where'd you get this money from?
I had an inheritance from an aunt. She had died when I was 13, and she had left me this money so I could go to college. And I decided to go to a Hunter college, so I had a little left over.
And you were able to take the money out yourself?
Yes. It was left to me, and when I turned 18, it was turned over to me.
Okay. The first loan was in August?
Yes.
For what?
It was $2,000 because he said he wanted a new car. His car had been crashed quite a few times, and they couldn't fix it, or it was too much money to fix it, whatever, he wanted a new car. And so I lent it to him, and I explicitly said it's a loan, and I will need this money back.
Did he say when he would pay you back?
He never really said anything. He just said, you get it by next year, when I could get money back, whatever. You'll get it by next year.
Whatever is not a contract. Did she give you $2,000?
No.
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 Show me proof that you gave him $2,000.
I have bank receipts from that month. There was actually a lot of transactions. What he would do is he would call me, and he would wake me up in the morning and take me to the ATM before the banks could open, so I would have to go to the ATM. Because the ATM could only take out $800 at a time, I would have to go to 3 different ATMs on a day. And because there was only a certain amount of money that I could take out on a certain day, I had to go to 2 days. So my bank receipts reflect that.
Does that sound more familiar, Mr. Smith?
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't, so you never got this money.
I got a portion of the money, which
How much is a portion?
$700 my car cost. My
How
car
much?
actually cost $750, which I did receive from Maury, and which I told her I was going to pay it back, which I did not pay her back at the time.
Why?
But, we broke up before she got it, and I wasn't, able to get in contact with her often. I work, I'm engineering and training, so I cannot have waking up in the morning and going to see her because I have to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning. I get out of work at 3:30, and she was.
Excuse me. I don't care about your work. You borrowed this money from her.
Not $2,000 though.
No, $750.
Yes, yes.
Okay, $750.
I do say I do owe that. I do owe that money. But
Excuse me, Judge. There was also about $1,400. He couldn't afford his insurance, so I paid 2 months of his insurance.
Let me take care of this.
Okay.
Okay. But in your answer, sir, you don't say that you owe her the money. In your answer, you say, I needed a car, and she offered to help me buy a car.
Yes.
She offered to give me the money.
She offered, but I owe that money because she gave me that money.
Oh,
She
well,
gave
you
me
didn't
and I
say
told
that
her
here. You didn't agree that you owed her that
Sorry
money.
about
All right, $750. What else?
There was also his insurance was about $711 a month on 2 months. One was September of 2000 and the other one was October of 2000. He could not afford to pay his insurance, so I paid 2 months of insurance, and the total came out to about $1,400. Each check was $711.79, and I have the checks here.
which were not cash because I did not have any checks to cash. I didn't have a bank account to cash. You cannot cash a personal check at a check cashing. You must cash
Excuse
a
me, but
personal
it was
check
written
in
out
a
to
bank.
the place, so
But I did not
that's
use
why
a check.
what happened is they did an electronic check or something. I handed him the original check that I wrote out, and that's the check that was sent to my bank. So the check was cashed, and he got it.
My insurance was canceled October of 2000. So I'm not understanding how she says that I have paid money for my insurance to be written out and paid for by the insurance company.
Did you ever have a conversation with her about your car insurance?
Yes.
Of course you did. Because if you say your car insurance was canceled, then you must have had a discussion with her. She was your girlfriend about, I don't have money for car insurance. I have 2 checks made payable for $711.79. They're bank checks.
Yes.
What was that for, sir?
That wasn't to me. At the time when she wrote it out...
Just a second. That went to you.
Yes, but I did not cash it. When she wrote it out to me, she was still there. I told her I couldn't cash the check. I didn't want the check.
You
She
can't
took it
cash
back
the
to her.
check.
I couldn't. So I gave it back to her, and then it was over. I couldn't cash the check because I didn't have a bank account at the time. I could not have, no way of cashing the check. It was to my insurance company.
It was paid.
But they even know. They would have mailed me a copy of the check.
It was paid, both of these checks.
I paid, my insurance company was canceled, and I had another insurance company with my mother's name.
These were paid, sir. Capital payment plan.
Okay, yes.
What else?
I have a tape here. He knew it was a loan. He always knew it was a loan every time. When I gave him those checks, I said, when am I getting back my money? Every time we had a conversation, it would be about am I getting back my money?
What I want to know is what the girlfriend is doing here.
The girlfriend, what happened is, he found out I was suing him. He calls me. I told him, I will see you in court. I will not talk about this over the phone. And his girlfriend calls me. And that's what happened.
Stand up here. What did you call her for?
I called her to speak to her about what. I just wanted to know why she was suing him.
For money.
Exactly. No, I wanted to know the reason why, like how it went about, like the situation.
What is it your business?
Because he's my boyfriend. That's the reason why I wanted to know.
Why?
I just wanted to know why
debt
she was
he
suing
had.
him. He told me he didn't owe her any money. That's why I
told me you didn't owe her any money to start with.
Exactly, and that's why I called her to find out. And she told me that she paid for his car. She told me the same exact thing, and she actually told me that after she broke up with him, that's when she gave him $700 to pay for his car. And she told me that she spent a lot of money on him. She bought him a lot of gifts and all of this.
Gifts is not what we're talking about.
Well, she said she spent a lot of money on him.
Sure she did. She, 18-year-old got her hands on some money, and that's the problem. But this money was for his car and his car insurance.
But $3,000 doesn't add up at all.
No,
So-
$2,150 is what it adds up to.
Well, actually, there's a lot more money. I did loan him the $2,000. He's saying it's $700 right now.
If next time you loan somebody money, Miss Bailey, and if you think there's going to be a dispute as to the amount, get a note. What else?
There's a taper. He was fully aware there was a loan. He called my machine.
Let me see.
Marie Bailey says ex-boyfriend Hassan Smith owes for several unpaid loans, and she has an audio tape to prove it.
Go ahead.
511:1:06 p.m. January 23rd.
Crazy, I don't know what you're doing, but for coming back this long for 3 years later and suing me for $3,000, I don't know what the hell to sue you for. I'm trying to sue you for that you put me through when I didn't expect your mother's house and me helping you. So you living off of me. So therefore, I should kind of sue you. But we'll see about this in court because ain't no way you're going to win it. Well, they can teach you that. I mean, it says to me.
Wish I understood a word you were saying.
I was saying that she was suing me for $50,000 3 years later, which was way too weird, because when she did call me and want the money, I told her I will give her the money, no problem. But it came so sudden for her to come to court and say I owe her $3,000. It hit me with such shock that saying $3,000 that I owe. It was shocked that $3,000 out of $700 from $3,000. It was pretty weird.
Insurance. You forgot about the insurance, Mr. Smith. You forgot about the insurance. You mean you were shocked that 3 years later she came to you and said, I want my money?
Yes, but she could have maybe signed a contract, and I would glad to sign a contract for the money I owe her, but she didn't.
Yeah,
and
Judge, please. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Okay, and bank statements saying that she wrote checks out to me. If it wasn't my insurance company, I would like to have a receipt from my insurance company saying it was paid in full. You know, all they always mail it.
How is she going to get that?
Because the check is run out from her address, so they mail a copy of what was paid, a receipt, and the mail with that. Always, I have a checking account too. They always do that.
They mail it to the person who wrote the check rather than to the insured. It says your insurance is now paid. We want to let you know that
if the check wasn't mailed out to me, why would they mail it back to me?
Because maybe she didn't trust you. And you told me you didn't have a checking account.
At the time.
So, well, I don't care what you have now. Now is not important, Mr. Smith. Do you think you're smarter than I am?
No, I'm not.
You're darn right. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,150. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
A baby together which died, and I broke up with her so suddenly, and she hated me for that.
I don't know why he's bringing up the past history. It was not brought up in the case. I don't know why he's trying to bring it up, trying to make me look bad or whatever, but it has nothing to do with it.
I don't hate her for it.
I don't want to have any contact with the defendant or anything, and I'm just so happy to have him out my life for good.
Things like this happen all the time with people who are mad because they got left by somebody who doesn't want them anymore.
I don't want him. I am happily engaged. I have a new life.
I guess money makes the world go around. That's one thing that can make you happy if you can't have that person that you want.
I don't even think about him except the money that he owed me.
Don't get in a relationship when it involves money.
If he wants to think that I still want him, let him. If that makes him sleep better at night, whatever.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lechuga versus Kavanaugh, step forward, please.
21-year-old store manager Yvette Lechuga is suing her ex-boyfriend, 22-year-old construction worker James Kavanaugh, for the unpaid balance on a car he totaled.
Miss Lechuga, the defendant was a former boyfriend of yours, and in addition to just being a boyfriend, you had a car that was titled in both of your names. He paid for the insurance on the car, but it was your car. And there was a car loan on the car, is that right?
Right.
He got into an accident and totaled the car. So far, is that right?
Yes.
The insurance company totaled the car and gave you a check, but the check did not cover the car loan, and there is still about $1,800 left that you owe the loan company on the car. Is that what the case is about?
Yes.
Mr. Kavanaugh, when were you in this accident, sir?
It was May 28th, 2001.
Tell me about the accident.
Well, we were coming back from the airport and...
Stop playing with papers. Look at me.
Okay. We were coming back from the airport from St. Louis.
Who's we? The two of you?
The two of us, yes. She was in the passenger seat. We were going through an intersection, and the light was green. She swore the light was green at one time. Went through the intersection in another car. We collided. No witnesses stopped on our behalf. The other car had a witness stopped, said they had a green light, so I was at fault for the accident because I had no witnesses. She was in the car.
Maybe you were just at fault in the accident because you were at fault.
No, the light was green. I'm sorry, if the light was green, I'm going through it.
Did you hit them or did they hit you?
We hit each other.
How is that?
Because the two corners hit together. I mean, I didn't see them. They just ran, they went right through the light, and we collided. I never saw the car coming through the intersection because I was halfway through the intersection before, you know, we even hit.
So the insurance company found that you were at fault. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the highway patrol put me at fault. Now, I guess the insurance goes by that, or if they go by their own. I don't know.
Whatever. Those people who were responsible for finding who was at fault found you at fault?
Yes.
Okay. And when had you purchased this car?
We had purchased it in last September.
When you say we purchased it, you purchased it together?
He was the primary person on the car, and I was the co-signer, but it was supposed to be the other way around, and they messed it up.
I don't care what is it now? Who owes the $1,800?
Right now, I'm the primary person.
Why is that?
Because we switched the names back.
When?
Back in June.
After the accident?
Yes.
Why?
Because I was the one making the payments on it, and I wanted to have credit for it.
At the time that this accident occurred, that he caused, he was the primary on the car.
Right.
And on the loan. Is that right?
Correct.
Who was making payments prior to May 28th?
I was.
Why were you making the payments?
Because it was my car.
Well, then why was he ever the primary?
Because the loan people were stupid and messed it up. They put my name wrong. They put the paperwork wrong. When I signed the papers, I asked them, This puts me as co-signer, because I've never signed for a car before, co-signed or nothing. So I believe the people we bought the car from, I said, so I'm on as co-signer. They said yes, so we signed the papers. Come to find out later on, they put me as primary and her as co-signer. So when we found that out, since she was making the payments, it was her car, we switched the names.
You mean the payments for a car that no longer existed?
What's that?
In June, after the accident, the car no longer existed.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right.
How much did they give you for this car?
About $7,000.
$7,311.
And how much was owing on the car?
That much. I don't have the exact amount on that because...
How come you have a lot of paperwork?
I have all the paperwork I need for my case. I mean, I don't have the exact amount left on the car. They wouldn't
Let
give
me
me
see
the
the
information
information
on it.
that you have, madam. I want to see the loan that was taken out, how much the payout was, all that good stuff.
I have a copy of the title right here. It has the price on it. I did have that.
How many cars did you have when you were living together?
I had mine and had hers.
When did the two of you part ways?
In July.
Why?
He broke up with me because he was seeing somebody else.
I see the last payment that you made to Ford Credit was $100.85. Is that right?
Right.
Your Honor, what month was that? Because I've had to cover 1 month of that because she quit paying on it and didn't tell me. So they called me 2 days before they were going to send it to collections agency and informed me that she was 3 months behind.
I did tell you.
So you made the payment?
Yes, I had to make the payment.
Good. It was your accident. Now.
She was right there in the passenger side, Your Honor. She could have very well been driving. She gave me permission to drive the car, so, you know, my insurance paid out all that on it. I mean, if I was to let her...
Is this your defense? Now
if I was to let her go drive my truck and she was to wreck it, it would be my responsibility to pay for it, not hers. I mean, isn't that right? Because it is my truck and my insurance. I mean, unless I'm wrong, I don't know.
So that's your defense?
My defense is I've paid out more on this car than I think I should have anyway. I mean, yeah, my insurance covered my wreck, my part of the wreck, but I paid for her insurance the whole time she had that car, so.
Where were you coming or going from that you were coming from the airport?
We were coming from St. Louis because she had gone to Texas.
Yes.
Vacation to see her mom.
Okay, so when you went to pick her up at the airport, you took her car?
Yes.
How come you didn't take your truck?
Because her car had more room and we could put her stuff in the trunk. I had permission to take her car.
No, I didn't ask for permission. I just said, how come you didn't take your truck?
Because her car has more room. I have an
More
S10.
room than a truck?
I have an S10. The cab is a lot smaller than the front seats of a car. It's just more comfortable in a car.
Okay.
Because it's
now,
a
when you went out
2.5-hour
for
drive.
dinner, which car did you take?
What's that?
What word didn't you understand, sir? When the two of you
well,
were
I'm sorry,
together,
I was
I'm
talking,
speaking.
You interrupted me.
When you went out for dinner, when you were living together, whose car did you take?
Either or.
Most of the time, which car did you take?
There wasn't most of the time. I mean, I guess
went out
most
to
of
a
the time
movie.
we took my truck.
You did?
I guess, yes.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
doubt
You
it?
want to know why? Women don't ride in a truck if they have a car. By choice. If they have no choice, they'll ride in a truck. But if they have a choice, they'll ride in a sedan. That's common sense, isn't it, Bert?
I'm not a woman, but yeah.
But you know women.
My wife prefers a car.
Right. Now, what kind of work do you do?
I work construction.
So you use your truck for your business, but going out on a Saturday night, you take the car.
Not true.
Not
But,
true.
okay.
Of course it's true. Sir, bottom line is, Mr. Kavanaugh, you not only were driving this car, with or without her permission, of course it was with her permission that you were driving the car, but you were also primarily responsible on the loan at the time of the accident. I don't care who messed up. You bought this car in September of 2000. If you're old enough to have a car and a truck and a job, then you're old enough to look at paperwork and see whether it's wrong, and you don't switch it after the accident. So at the time of the accident, you were A, at fault, B, primary on the loan.
As co-signers should have been.
No.
Okay, both of our names are right here. On this title, both of our names are under owner.
Right.
It doesn't say who's co-signer and who's not. When I saw that, and when I asked them who is the co-signer, they said me. Now,
But it turns out that it wasn't.
doesn't seem to be very clear to me.
It turns out, I'm not here to go over their contract. As it turns out, you were primary. Right?
Unknowingly, yes.
Not my fault. You certainly knowingly one thing. You knowingly were involved in an accident which the police attributed to you as the one at fault. So you owe the remainder on this bill. Why should she be saddled with it? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,798.69. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. Rivers versus Barnett. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Jeffers, some 2 years ago, the defendant, who was your boyfriend at the time?
Yes.
The two of you and a third person were driving in a car. Was it your car?
No.
It was his car?
Yes.
And there was an accident. It is your claim that the defendant was actually driving that day, but for some reason he asked you to tell the police that you were driving.
Right.
And initially you did that. You lied for him. Very next day, you say you reported to the police that you had lied and sort of straightened things out. Sometime later, you got sued by the lady whose car was hit by the car that you were in. The defendant, according to you, promised that he would pay the damage. You say he did pay for a while and then stopped. The defendant says that, no, you were actually driving the car and that he did give you some money.
Yes, ma'am.
But it was only because he was being a good guy and he was your boyfriend. And he has a counterclaim because he says that you broke into his house and stole some of his property and trashed the house.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me, when was this accident?
On February 13th, 2000.
Was it a car or a truck?
Truck.
And was it 2 passengers in the front or 3?
3.
The 2 of you and who else?
His cousin Nathan.
Who certainly wants to be heard, right, Nathan?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm?
Yes, ma'am.
You sure about that?
Nervous? Yeah.
Good. Where were you going?
I think we were going to look at some apartments in Edmond.
And it was his truck?
Mm-hmm.
Why would she be driving your truck?
I wasn't feeling right that day.
Tell me about it.
Ill.
What was wrong with you?
I was nausea to my stomach.
If you were nauseous, how come you were going to look at apartments?
Because we had to find another place to live.
You were
very
being
soon.
what?
We were being evicted from where we were
That
at.
sounds like a good word, after we were being. So you took your nauseous self and you put yourself in the passenger seat, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
No.
Tell me what happened.
We left the house. I was sitting in the middle. He was driving, and his cousin was passenger. We drove up to Edmond, and we turned west. We were going under a railroad crossing, and he rear-ended a lady. He jumped out because he had had a DUI.
How did he jump out?
As soon as we hit the lady, he just jumped out of the truck to go and check on her, and he just looked over at me and said, "You were driving." And I said, "Oh, okay."
When did he have a DUI?
I think it was November.
Did you have a DUI in November?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened with that case?
It was dismissed.
When?
Maybe a month afterwards.
So it was still pending at the time that the truck was in this accident?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
When the police came, I told them that I was driving. When we went home that day, I went to my grandma's and told her what I did. She said, "Well, you're going to have to make this right. You'll just have to go to the police department and tell them you were lying."
And did you do that?
Yes.
Do you have any proof that you did that?
Yes. I
Can I
have
see
a
it,
false
please?
information report. A year later, I was served by the lady he hit. I told her I wasn't driving, told her I had a false information report, and I talked to her lawyer, and I told him, and he said, well, that didn't matter. And so he was going to go to court with me and tell them that he was really driving, and then at last minute he changed his mind and said...
Well, tell me about that. Tell me about the conversation that you had with him. Did you tell him that you filed this report that you had
Yes.
lied to the police?
Yeah.
When did you tell him that?
I told him the same day.
What did he say to you?
He said, "I can't believe you did that. Your family's trying to throw me in jail," and he was just really mad about it.
What did he say to you when the woman contacted you a year later?
He agreed to go and tell them the truth. And then at last minute he decided he wasn't going to. He said he would just pay it off in payments to the attorney's office.
And what were the payments?
$150 a month.
What was the entire payment?
$3,344.87.
And at that time, was his DUI still pending?
I don't know. I just know he had a suspended license for as long as I'd known him.
Did he have a suspended license on the day of this accident?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. And how many payments of $150 did Mr. Barnett make?
I believe 6.
Is that right, Mr. Barnett?
Yes, ma'am.
And then he stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Did anything coincide with him stopping the payments?
We broke up.
And did you have a conversation with him about continuing with the payments after you broke up?
Yes, at the beginning of 2 months thereafter, I would ask him, will you pay this? Will you at least pay half? and because I know it's part my fault, so I was trying to compromise him pay half.
Why was it part your fault?
Because I took the blame in the first place.
That doesn't make it part your fault, that just makes you stupid. And he said, sue me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Murray, where were you seated in the car?
Passenger side, by the door.
By the door.
Yes, ma'am.
And who was driving the truck?
Crystal Jeffers.
Miss Jeffers.
Yes, ma'am.
You're fibbing.
No, I'm not.
Sit down. I was being kind to you, sir.
I understand.
I don't like fibbers, especially in court.
Neither do I.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Stand up here again. I don't think I'm finished torturing you yet.
All right.
You his cousin?
Yes, ma'am.
You're friendly?
Yeah.
Like each other?
Yeah, love him.
And your cousin was nauseous that day,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
So why didn't you drive?
Because I don't have a license.
Neither did he. Doesn't seem to make any difference in your family. He didn't have a license either. The reason he wasn't driving was because he felt nauseous, not because he didn't have a suspended license.
Can I speak, Your Honor?
Of course.
The reason I wasn't driving is because I felt ill. Just because I don't have a license didn't stop me from driving.
That's exactly what I said, Mr. Barnett. Why don't you pay attention, sir? I said it doesn't stop members of your family from driving. He said he wasn't driving because he didn't have a license. I said, neither did you. But the reason that you gave me for not driving that day and for having your girlfriend drive was not because you had a suspended license, but it was because you weren't feeling well. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Sit down.
Crystal Jeffers says ex-boyfriend Derek Barnett made her take the blame for a car accident he caused. Crystal claims he was driving on a suspended license and he didn't want to go to jail.
So now he owes you, because I don't believe him, $2,444. That's what's left. Now, you're only suing for half of that. Can you tell me why?
Actually, when I made my thing in Oklahoma, I miscalculated it, and it's actually $1,944.87.
Well, did you make any payments?
Yes, because if I didn't make any payments, they were going to suspend my license. So I had to make the payments.
So you're just suing him for what's left?
Yeah.
Psh. That's unfortunate, but your lawsuit only asks for $1,450.
Yeah.
He owes you a lot more than that. You're getting away cheap, Mr. Barnett, considering the fact it was your accident. Now, you want to tell me about your counterclaim, and that is that you say that the plaintiff broke into your house and stole some property. Why don't you tell me?
I have a witness, also my mother.
Step up. Your last name is Barnett?
No, it's Libby Slavic.
All right, Miss Slavic. When was this break-in, and what do you know about it?
It was in August, and I was driving by his home, and I noticed Crystal coming out of the front door with a box in her hand. And when she see me, she dropped the box, and they all got in a truck and took off. So I pulled around, and I called the police from my cell phone, because I had known that when they broke up, he changed the locks on the house because she made it obvious she was not coming back in June.
So what did you do?
I went back to his house and waited for the police, but before they got there, he showed up.
And what did you find, sir, when you went into the house?
There was trash scattered across my floor. My furniture was turned upside down. Everything was gone except for one piece of furniture. $300 cash out of my dresser drawer. TV, VCR, stereo, CDs, and movies.
What date had you broken up with the plaintiff?
It was 3 weeks, about 3 weeks earlier than that.
On what date in the month had you been paying this $150 for this car accident?
It was on the 1st of every month.
Had you paid August's payment?
Yes, ma'am, I believe at the time, yes.
Did he make August's payment?
No, I made August.
Let me see what paper you're looking at.
That's a copy of all the payments that were made to the attorney office.
August, you did not make a payment, sir. She made the payment in August.
Okay.
What are you saying no?
No, ma'am, she didn't. I mailed that for him, so I know for a fact he paid it in August.
Why was he making these payments, madam?
Because the woman that she hit had called me on the phone. She had told me that Crystal was driving the truck, and then she said that she got a call from the police the next day. Crystal had went down and filed a false police report.
That said that he was driving.
He was driving. He was not driving the pickup. Her witness even said that Crystal was driving.
Her witness isn't here, and she's not here.
Right.
And he was
I
driving the
understand
truck, because if he wasn't driving the truck, he wouldn't have made these payments of $150 a month.
Well, Your Honor, I'm not going to sit here and say that
Right.
it was, because I wasn't there, so
Absolutely
I don't know.
right.
I wasn't there.
Absolutely right. I don't have to be there.
But I was driving by his house when I seen her come out of his home.
All right, now, Miss Jeffries, let me get to you. And you know, I'm pretty good at this stuff. You went to his house with some friends.
My mother, my grandma, my grandpa, and one of my mom's friends.
And what did you go there for?
To get my clothes and my furniture.
And it was your furniture?
Yes. My dad's mother that died gave it to me.
Did you take anything that didn't belong to you?
Come on. CDs and movies, but we bought those together, so I'm not sure who bought what, you know.
What about a TV and a VCR?
The TV I left there because that was his. His mother gave it to him. The VCR, my dead grandmother gave to me, and a stereo my other grandma bought at a garage sale.
What else was taken, Mr. Barnett?
Everything that I named to you before.
What?
The TV, the VCR, the CDs, the movie, $300 cash out of my dresser drawer.
So all of that totals how much, sir, do you think?
$1,500.
You think if I were to add it up all together, I would probably slash that a little bit. In any event, Mr. Barnett, I'm not going to get into a long, protracted case on who bought what movies and who bought what stuff. All I will tell you is that since I believe that you owe her considerably more than she sued for, I'm giving you nothing on your counterclaim, because she's suing you for at least $1,000 less, because she didn't understand that just because she made the payments that she could have sued for that too. She's just suing for the balance that's left. So you get zippo, nada, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,450. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Crystal has this thing about lying when she's under pressure.
If you lie, you're going to get caught. And he was lying.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Horsford versus Conrad. Step forward, please.
44-year-old homemaker Cindy Horsford is suing her former friend, 34-year-old real estate administrator Christina Conrad, for an unpaid loan.
Ms. Horsford, according to your complaint, you've known the defendant for about 9 years. You met at a 12-step program, a recovery program.
Correct.
And there came a time recently that you became reacquainted with her after a lapse in time. She was in need of money, and you loaned her some money. She says she did borrow some money from you, not as much as you claim, but that you have her coat, which is worth more than what she owes you. So, when did she first ask you for money?
Probably August, July, August. Or...
That's not true.
It's either, it's maybe November, I'm not real sure.
August
That's
or
more like
November?
it. November might be more like it, yeah.
Go to November. So she asked you for money in November. Under what circumstances?
She had owed a man money that she had an accident with.
And how much money did you lend her?
$200.
Did you give her check or cash?
Cash.
And when did you again lend her money?
It was around...
Miss Horsford, did you know you were coming to court today? Did you know you were coming to court today,
yes.
madam? Well, you're coming to court. Listen to me. You're coming to court today because you had 2 loans that you made to the defendant. This is not a complicated antitrust case. You made 2 loans. Such and such a date, this much. This is when I made it, this much. Because the questions are going to get harder. These are the easy questions, Miss Horsford. So when was the second loan? Let's give it to me again. Date and under what circumstances, madam?
The date was approximately the 18th of December, and it was for jewelry she had in the pawn shop that she had to make payments on her jewelry.
And how much did you give her that time?
Another $200.
Okay, and you also gave her cash?
Correct.
Anything else?
Yes, and I gave her an additional $60 after she had been asked to please leave.
Explain that to me.
Okay, I asked her to leave after about a week.
You mean she came to live with you?
Her daughter and her stayed for about a week.
Oh.
Which she insisted that I do.
Did she give you back any of that money?
Yes, she did.
How much did she give you back?
$50.
Now tell me about this coat that she says you have of hers.
She left a black leather jacket in my room, and I hung it up in my closet.
And it's still there?
I have it with me.
Oh, you have it with you? Great, so you can give it to her outside the courtroom.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
Fine. Okay. Now, you gave her back $50?
$50, correct. And it was nowhere near the amount that she stated. She loaned me a total of $120, the bulk of that of which went towards getting my jewelry back, which she insisted on giving me. She stated that I stole $460. This was the original, what I was served. Now, if I stole it, my first question in my mind was...
Just a minute.
If I stole it...
Why did you write her that she stole money?
Because she wasn't going to pay me back. I figured that's stolen money.
No, it's loaned money. Do you have any proof that you gave her $460? Have any withdrawals from a bank?
No.
Well, where did you have this cash from?
I had it in my heart box in my drawer, and she knew where it was, too. I was saving
the
it.
heart box you couldn't find.
Well, I have a problem here. She acknowledges that she still owes you some money, like $70. Is that right?
Correct. And may I say something, Your Honor?
Mm-hmm.
I had money that was supposed to be coming to me by a certain date. It didn't. She had made several phone calls, leaving messages on my machine, asking to speak to my boyfriend. I left her the message and said, you know, can you please not involve my boyfriend or leave notes in my mother's mailbox? We're two full-grown women. It's between you and I. She went into an absolute tantrum, told me that she, quote unquote, did not want to see my face until I had all of her money, and furthermore, wasn't going to keep her mouth shut. She was going to call my boyfriend and tell him whatever she felt like.
Go ahead.
When I got home that night, my boyfriend had gotten off the phone with her and was outraged about all kinds of allegations that she'd made, that I was chasing after her boyfriend, this and that.
Oh.
So I went to her a couple days later and knocked on her door. I had $70 cash. She goes, what do you want? And I said, I need my jacket. I was going to go on to say, and when you give me my jacket, I will give you your money. She slammed the door in my face, proceeded to throw a tantrum on the other side of the door, and I left and thought, let's just leave it lie, let the dust settle till after the holidays, and then I'll go back and reapproach the situation. Before that could happen, I got served with papers.
Okay. Bird, will you see to it that the coat is turned over outside to the defendant?
Sure thing.
Very good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $70. That's all.
Parties are excused.
Husua,
के कतो से अब 6 बजल हसुआ देख छ हसुआ आँख निकाल ले